Hey everybody. Well, I was just thinking, I might as well just hold up my number. My prisoner of war number, torture survivor. Since I destroyed myself today. One, if you can't read it, it's M5743. Just read it whatever you want to. I mean, I might as well go like this. Or like this. I know what it says. I can see it from here. Well, it's funny, too. Well, in many ways, Sean is right. You know. What do you want to do? Well, and he knows they adopted them. Like, so here's my Holocaust. Right here. You know? I mean, I didn't believe it at first. You know what I mean? I was like, how can my own mother give me up? I love her, but I mean, really. And then I fought back. Well, and then I witnessed for other people. Well, and then I struggled. And I built myself up, and I destroyed myself. And this is what I have. A number. I might as well have had it tattooed on my arm. I guess that's what happens, though, when you've been tortured and abused. You find compassion in your heart. Well, and then he told you that, too, in your mind. He's like, well, he basically said acceptance of humanity is more important than denial of it. I mean, those that would deny their own sexuality and their own feelings and their own any of it, well, then what are they? Well, and no nun or priest would, or monk. Well, and a lot of it is this. It's a mask. Well, what would happen if everybody knew priests and monks and nuns had feelings? Well, and how else can they view humanity? Well, there's got to be some protection for the soul. I mean, the ones that care and accept it. I know, right? It's kind of juvenile to hold this up. But I think it's. I mean, can you imagine that on my arm? I should just tattoo the court number on me, too. You know? In case you can't read it, it says M, as in Mary, 5743. It's kind of funny. Well, no. Well, it is in your case, Stephen, because you, like, destroyed yourself. And you even said it in your mind. What else you said? You were like, well, maybe the real person to blame and who should stand trial for humanity isn't you, but you're like, I'll do it, right? Like Thelma and Louise, or just Steven going, doot, doot, doot. When you said it earlier, you've never seen him hit the bottom, though. Oh, that's because movies are one dimensional. Oh, I forgot that. I know, right? Well, you might as well tell the gay mafia, you know, oh, who's better than who? Yeah, if there was such a thing as gay mafia anymore, you probably destroyed that too. Now they're all just sexual beings, conflicted on the inside with their own femininity and masculinity. Can you imagine that? Constantly squabbling in each other's ears? Or what if they had numbers? Like their IP addresses? No. Oh, what, you pinged them all, Steven? And you don't even care. I just like my number. M5743. I mean, I could be a car. I mean, treated like a tool. You know. I mean, I should wear it on my back. Here's my torture survivor number from being physically and sexually abused all my life, abandoned, and then look where I'm at. And not to mention that I gave up my daughters. I struggled with drug addiction. I talked to people that I didn't need to, who were getting paid to listen, with ulterior motives. I let people tell me what to do when I didn't have to. You know, can you read it? Or I was going to write it by hand, you know. Oh, and I wonder if the other torture survivors from the Wilmer State Hospital are. Well, no, probably not, because they weren't smart and they didn't get their records. I have their numbers. Well, and I'm sure they tried to track them down. Not an easy thing to do in such a top secret place. You know their names. Well, maybe they found them. Who knows? Isn't that funny? M5743, torture survivor, father of two amazing daughters, and now look at me. She's telling me just to waste them all. But you, Stephen, you're like, oh, I'll go to the court trial, not this one here, and say guilty. And then, you were right. And Sean almost walked away from you. And you're right, he was shaking when you said about Israel and Palestine and Islam. I mean, it's just. M5743. That's what my Holocaust is. My soul cost. Oh, yeah, and who wants to get sucked into that soul hole with me? I bet you not many. Even though I have my supporters, you know? Well, my shoes, for one. These old, rusty shoes. Oh, and my black socks. And this old cottage I walk around in. Well, and I would guess that if people looked at what they wrote about them when they were in the hospital or in any kind of clinic, if they asked for their records, they'd be like, I didn't say that. Oh, and then you would say, ah, why did they write it? Maybe because they have to get paid, so they have to make shit up. I know, I thought about just taping this, or like doing this, and make a little lantern. you know, not that she would listen to me. I mean, really, I could walk around with this as a lantern with my number wrapped around it. I mean, really, I should just tape it together like this. Maybe it would heal the rest of them if I asked her. I'm, can you imagine? I mean, that's pretty much what they do sometimes. It's like, oh, here's the sole cost of this one. You know, well, and it's protected in glass. Well, I could stick it in the water and let the waves come up around it. My Holocaust wrapped around her, a vision of what she means to me. Yeah, a tortured little boy. And then his whole story was when you know what they did. And you're right, it does dig into Sean's soul. And you're right, some of that magic is leaving. You're like, well, it might be leaving them. I guess, Martin, this one's for you too if you see this. I don't think I even need to post anything after this. I was thinking about just filming brick walls and walking away from it for a while. Yeah, in 5743. I think I am going to tape this and just leave it like this. Oh, and she's right on the 5 number. I mean, not that my life has cost my Holocaust. And I've seen it all before. Get it? And Sean was like, I know you would walk away like a good father. Or like the Godfather. And you thought, well, those people were stupid. Save yourself. You know. Well, and you can see him right now. I know, right? Stop doing that, you. I know, right? And you're thinking that too. I was the one with all the glory. You know. I mean, really, like, what do you think of M5743 now. I don't even have a name. I'm going to just say, what's your name? Oh, M5743. You know, otherwise known as Steven Philip Lindquist. Well, and wait till what Sean was like. Well, wait until you hear what I say. And you probably were right when you told him, well, there was a disturbance in the spirit world. You know. Well, and then they deny you everything, like work, other types of pleasure, and you even know what you just said about that. It's in an attempt to make you mad, and you're just like, I guess that would be worse kind of hell. It's not that I'm trying to create hell for others, or people in general. I mean, oh no, and I could even make it a tall candle, like a lantern, or a pillar of her weight, with the numbers on it. So she might as well be 5743. And then and then I'll be, well, and then my other numbers, 711, 71, 9, 711, 82. I mean, we just 33 or 333, 669. Well, and those numbers that I picked, the dates and time, 7 AD. I mean, there's something that was written in the temple in 7 AD. I know they're hiding something. Well, and it's kind of damning too what they know. What they know, but you told them too that there's something in the holy city over there in the Middle East, in Jerusalem, that they've seen every day, and it means something. Well, it means something to all three of them. They just don't know what they're looking at. Oh, and you know what you know what you look like right now, don't you, Steven? Yeah. I know it's kind of scary. Put your glasses back on. You said already they probably see torn. And you hear them say, they walk by some of them and say, I'm sorry. And it's not even like you want that, because you're just like, well, beyond sorry. What is there beyond sorry? It is kind of like that. You know? Well, and you just thought that too. What if some of these other people are healing their tortured lives? You know, in many ways, a lot of people didn't get the chance to look at their records. And, you know, maybe you brought that to light. Maybe that was kind of destructive. Well, then they have to see what other people thought of them. And their own secrets, like, hey, maybe my mom and dad didn't want me. I'm not talking about you, Steven. I'm talking about, then other kids are like, wow. Well, and then that you realize that it's like, And I don't even know what to say. I mean, I want to know what Sean says. I mean, I might as well carry this around outside with me. Or I could give it as an offering, you know, here's my Holocaust, you know, and personally thank the people who destroyed it, my life. Except I won't, because it's like there's forgiveness in there. When you already said it, Stephen, you forgave people. Hold on. Why even see my face? When sometimes that's where it's meant to be. Where it's needed the most. Well, and you can see it. Oh, well, maybe you can't. It's so difficult. I know. It's like, well, I can unwrap it. Holocaust of a little boy started at, well, it started before that, Stephen. We'll just say in your physical life as Steven Philip Lindquist. Well, then it was started. I would imagine it started in like 1971. Well, and yeah, maybe I need to flip this around for a minute. Well, and it continued. I mean, with foster care, foster care, foster care, physical abuse, sexual abuse, institutionalization. Well, that's my childhood. Well, and then you're like, why don't you have any formative memories? Well, mainly because they were all beat out of me. But that's only child abuse in the United States. You know? And you did kind of forgive Tom. Well, you smited him. When you forgave your mom. And you even you rationalized the state hospital. And the state of Minnesota. Well, and the group home. And all your foster parents. Even though they were getting paid to have you. Nice, huh? Nice foster parents. Hey, well, it takes money to raise kids. Oh, and to give them up. Well, when they can't handle it. And then they're dispendable. are disposable. We want to help, but only if you don't cause any trouble, you know. And that's what's weird. Then you never do what you're told. Why would you? Well, and this is also for the people who broke into my computer and stole all my medical records and my history, my life history, who videotaped me and recorded me secretly and followed me and made fun of me. Why, and you forgave them all. Well, and then this Holocaust of just one light. You know, well, really one light in darkness, you know. Well, I don't know what to say. Well, you saw that little Buddhist boy walking, and he kind of fell into your heart with all the candles that he was walking on that path. Well, some other things fell into you too, Steven. I don't know if he was walking away from you or walking into you, and that was weird when you saw that. It was just kind of like the bricks fell behind him, and he kind of went. Well, and well, N5743 that's my number. That's my worth. Well, and you were probably right, Stephen. They probably did spend millions of dollars on you, the state of Minnesota. Well, and some of it was probably overbilled too. Well, and think about it. Millions of dollars. And look what you turned out to be like. And you'll just walk away from it. You said today to Sean, well, most of the time I'm in the spirit world anyways. So what is the physical matter anyways? And that's what he meant about, well, you always leave me. Well, you always leave the filth of the physical and see the beauty in the spiritual. And it's not even filthy, the physical. It's just, well, and that's it too. I mean, the others told you that in your mind. It was like, well, acceptance of madness is like, only people who deny humanity deny that. And then it would be like, well, you know who told you that. You could see him chuckling a little bit. You know? Yeah. Well, and you did say that too. If it was meant to be tough love, whoa. Well, did they get hurt then? mean, many times when you do that, it's, yeah, M5743. Well, that's old. I'm at 43 right now. Well, and I mean, I could make a bigger lantern too, so the whole of it could be seen. You know, like you did. I mean, yeah, like you quit telling everything. Well, you did that in schools, though. And well, you know where else you did that. I know, with those can lights. Well, and you have three of these that are around the house. You might as well just go put your numbers on them. Well, maybe that'll help heal some of that. Well, not for you, Stephen. You're already well, you're kind of beyond that already. I mean, you've already destroyed yourself, so. I know, did you hear what Sean said? Yep, you destroyed yourself. And all of it, pretty much. Well, you said that, well, M5743 said, now I'm going to speak to myself in the fourth kind. You know, that'll be my number. I might even say that in court. Who's your co-counselor? Oh, M5743. Whoa, who is that? Oh, my Holocaust survival number? You know, this one in this lifetime. Oh, yeah. And then I can have a couple blackbirds, like red-winged blackbirds with me too, for my spirit guides. Well, and that saber-toothed cat you said. Well, and the other ones. Well, it's just been so weird. Well, and you know that too, Stephen. I mean, you kind of said that once too. It doesn't matter anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I have my cost in my life. Well, and the candle was $1.50, and the paper, priceless. Well, and you should make Sean watch it and go. Here you go, Sean. Here's Steven Philip Lindquist's life as M5743 from Wilmer, Minnesota, who grew up in Santa Rosa, California. Well, and they made you out to be a monster. You know? want even that. You just... Well, I'm gonna leave it taped on here. I gotta go get some tape now. What? Oh. Well, I'm gonna use my... I should put that "Can I, the Son of a Man," you know, poem around it too. No, I had this for a reason. I mean, I guess this is how they did it in the olden days. You know, I guess some of you know what I'm talking about. And it's not even worth the slip knot. But you're such a... See, I'm afraid not. N5743. I might as well be speaking into the fire. You know, M5743. Well, that's a wrap. Oh, here.